I don't know how does a man lead with his mouth shut. The women tell he talks too much. He said this. He said that. How does a man lead from behind? A man has to get out front and lead. So for you to tell this man that he needs to shut up and listen to you, listen to you, maybe observe you so that he can understand, okay, this has to be managed, because if I let this go too far this way, this can happen. Snakes will come in, rodents, rats, because you're growing. You're putting out the leaves and everything, all of that. If a man does not manage this, it is not going to be a blessing back to him. It's going to be a jungle. It's going to be undisciplined. Why? Because God has filled you with so much fertile energy and what have you. Like you said, you give something to a woman, she will multiply it. Yes, you will multiply it because the power is there. But God gave you a man to come in and discipline this to keep it in a certain amount of order. Else you're going to have a jungle. You're going to have a wild woman. A wild woman that's out and all about. I don't want that type of a woman. And if I can't speak, if you make me think that it's feminine for a man to speak, what are you saying you want? What do you want? What kind of man do you really want? That doesn't sound like a feminine woman. A feminine woman would be someone who wants to be Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hello family, how are you doing today? This is Victory. I am Victory. Okay. And this is Victory TV. And I'd like to welcome you to the end of the day. Wow. Let me see if I can clean my glasses off. They seem like they're kind of clouded here. It's kind of cool outside out here. The weather is nice, but it is kind of breezy and kind of cool. So I don't know how long I'll be out here speaking with you. But I certainly hope that Allah will give me a word that I can bring to you today that will be good nuggets for you and for me and for our people. Well, first of all, let me just say thank you. Thank you, Creator, for this day. And thank you for allowing me to come before you today to bring this message that I really haven't thought of. I do have a little bit of a word that would remind me of the message that is in my spirit to come and bring to you at this time. So we're going to listen and see what does God have for us today. So I am so excited. Matter of fact, I'm always excited when I come away from the mosque and the leading minister there, when he speaks to us with such power and such wisdom and such teaching abilities to be able to bring his point right to the door, as my brother would sometimes say, so that the goats can get it. Okay, well, hold one moment. Okay, now I'm ready to go a little bit further. I hate doing these videos without my comforter right here. My reminder of who I am and the message that God has given me to unite our people. And that's what this is all about. That's what uh, reminds me of my mission from day to day. And so I like to have the Ankh, the symbol for family for me, and the symbol for God's purpose in this earth, and me understanding who I am. And I think when a man wakes up to realize who he is, it has to make an effect or a change in your life. Okay, so, but getting back to the minister today that brought the message, powerful brother. And I'm just so thankful for right now. And every time I go, I get excited and get a little bit stronger. My tie keeps wanting to change his direction there, but that's okay. Okay, so, but there's been a word that has been coming to me lately that I keep hearing. I like to watch different shows on the internet and on YouTube, and because I'm basically a single man now, I like watching this show called Pop That Balloon. Even though it's younger people doing it, they did have a couple of senior citizen shows that I saw. But I realized, with my mentality for where I am at this age, I'm 68, God would have to design that woman just for me. Okay. And if she's going to be the type of woman that can help me to become a better man and help me to be about God's business. And the only way that's going to be is that God designs her and bring her to me, because today when I see the way I understand today that God has called men to be leaders, and I believe that I've always had leadership qualities, leadership skills, but my father is pretty much my example for me to become a leader. But the thing is that if you're going to be a leader, you've got to be able to lead a group or an individual that might not necessarily want to be led. And that's something I realized as a young man, when I married. I know how to lead a crew that is on board with you. But when you have someone who does not believe in your leadership and does not believe in you and is not a follower, and when you don't, and you haven't ever experienced that, maybe it's too soon for you to choose a wife, or at least you have to pray to God to give you the wife that you need to, number one, to train you to become a leader, or maybe you're just not ready. And I can accept that. Maybe I wasn't ready because I just thought that was the next thing to do. When I graduated from high school, went and got my degree, my college degree, and I remember consciously thinking the next thing to do is to find me a wife. And I would not advise that today to young men, because I think that you must get a chance to live on your own first. And even when I went to college, I did not live on my own. I still lived at my home, in my parents' home, because Tuskegee, I'm from Tuskegee, and Tuskegee University was right there in Tuskegee, so I could live at home. So I really wasn't out on my own to learn who I was. And I think every man needs to live on his own, so that he can see how does he deal with his finances, how does he How does he pay his own rent? How does he deal with his utilities? How does he deal with all the circumstances that's going to come that's new to you when you're establishing your first time living on your own? And if you can't take care of yourself, you probably don't need to be trying to take somebody else on to be the leader of a household if you have never led. Okay, so with that said, and with the sermons and the messages that we often get as men, I can't even say younger men, but this is what we're teaching younger men. But me, even as an older man, I think that there were some things I needed to learn that I did not get coming up in my father's home, because he did not, my dad did not teach me so much by word. He taught me by his actions. And so if you're not paying attention to what he was doing and his life, then we probably would have missed a lot, because my dad was a man of few words, except for when it came to maybe teaching at the church or whatever. But that just wasn't enough, and it's not enough when you're leading young men. So, and teaching them how to establish in a household, because there are certain things I had to learn on the job as a husband, as a father, even as a young God. Okay, so there were things I probably had out of order, and I think a lot of men have out of order. And because I taught that way, I think even my sons have some things out of order. Thank God for my last son, but he's been raised by his mother, so he's probably going to get some things out of order also.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.